testing. Okay, I just heard myself. Oh, the stream health is horrible. Auto quality 720p. Let's see if frames drop. It's loading. I wonder if those settings are changing the viewers or just me. I'll do auto. I mean auto. When I move the laptop, it sounds like something. I don't know where the microphone is. Okay, well, I am just going to go ahead and start a 1st of January vlog. I'm staring at my cat. Just for an introduction and future reference, my name is Marcy. I'm 26 years old. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I have a cat named Peep. That isn't the name that I gave her. It's the one that the shelter gave her, and I didn't feel like changing it. I have completed 56 hours of college courses spread out to about 6 years of attending college on and off. I went into school to be a psychologist. I eventually dropped out so I could pay for summer classes and start my first job. I moved into an apartment and stayed in town up until I paid the school back, and then I moved back to my hometown, attended community college, couldn't stand living back at home, so eventually I found a cheaper college to live and study. It was only about 50 miles away from my home. I was there for a semester, then I went back to my hometown community college, lived there for another 3 years. I started a career as a computer technician, and I have been continuing courses to get a computer science bachelor degree. I briefly attended another college, a university, to do computer and mechanical engineering. The courses were too difficult for me. I used the disability office for the first time, and I have slight dyslexia, making it hard to write and listen at the same time. I was given some benefits of applying for the disability office, but it didn't turn out as I thought it would. I wasn't given as much attention as I thought I was going to get. I didn't have a tutor for my math classes or my computer courses because they couldn't find anyone that was studying in my field. I ended up leaving within that semester and got a job as a security guard. Then I was a purchasing agent for a fabric company. Then I was a call center rep. Then I got a temporary contract to upgrade technology in Target stores. I haven't been employed since. It's been about 3 months. I've kind of searched myself to find something that I can complete, and I'm going back to my roots in the vein of psychology to study early childhood development. It's been a subject that has interested me since high school. I took a small life skills. It was focused around pregnancy and early infancy age range in high school, where they gave us the little robot babies, and I took it for fun. I didn't realize it was a extracurricular that pregnant mothers and teen fathers were required to take in high school. So it was a bit of a, I guess, just a learning experience, a different culture that I hadn't been a part of, and did fairly well in that. In my first year of college, when I was going towards my psychology bachelor's, I took a life development course. It was the second semester where we didn't have advisors to help us make our schedules, and I ended up taking a junior level course. Anyone in college would know that there's different levels that are categorized by the numbers that are in front of the letters that represent the course. So it was a 300 letter or number course when I was a freshman. I remember doing quite well in that, and having a close relationship just talking about different articles and theories with my professor. She was pretty impressed how well I was doing despite my little mix-up, and decided to encourage me to stay in the classes. I haven't had much experience with children. I've actually been pretty standoffish, just because of how unsure I am to act around them, other than speaking just small, very, very limited vocabulary, small talk with them, smiling, waving, making babies laugh, and things like that. My brother and sister-in-law, they had their first son about 2.5 years ago, and probably the first kid that I actually became attached to, and kind of got over a lot of my fears around children. Just really just seeing them as little people. And later on, I got an ex that was part of the foster system, and some issues that arose with that, a perspective that I'd never experienced before. Just some abandonment and rejection, fears, and things like that. It made me concerned about the foster care system in our state. There is very little resources for kids that end up with parents that really shouldn't have had kids. And plus, like with my, I say I have a bit of an activism personality just because of the charities that I support and my outspoken opinions about the kind of things, the tragedies that are happening around the world. I've contacted my local congressman and senator over unaccompanied immigrant children, and I offered my home to a refugee child that was allowed in our state, but our current government in my state has banned all refugee relocation efforts. What I would like to do this year is kind of get together all of my different projects that I've had in mind. I would like to be a part of the human rights campaign. That's been an integral part of my personality for as long as I can remember. The cause that is most prevalent in the human rights campaign is LGBT rights. I am straight. I have, I would call myself a cis female. It is a little unorthodox for me to have an opinion on trans rights or LGBT rights, I guess. I've just been an ally for as long as I can remember, and this is despite living in the Bible Belt and having very racist and homophobic family members throughout my whole life. But I'm going to discuss with the events director here. Unfortunately, the HRC office is fairly close to me, so I could volunteer at a moment's notice. Something else that I have been trying to help with is with the homeless population. On several occasions, I've bought food, I've given rides, I've donated articles of clothing, umbrellas, first aid, things like that, just to people that I run into. I don't believe in just giving cash. If I can buy something for them that is an integral survival tool for them, that would be preferable to just handing someone $1. I also have my heart in the homeless LGBT youth. There is a great source here locally that provides shelter for disowned teens. Instead of them going out on the streets, finding dangerous ways in order to survive on the streets. The shelters will provide the beds, clothes, resources for jobs. I would like to eventually take all of these sources that I've been gathering up, speaking specifically of financial sources, job searching sources, places that provide beds, and there's something called warming centers during the winter months. Make a care package of numbers and addresses and ways to get between these places, and also maybe connect sponsors with people that are requiring help. I am currently getting I will eventually get experience in childcare through just a small babysitting job. This is just 2 days a week. I believe that I could keep up with my online classes and a couple of my on-campus classes to get everything done in an adequate amount of time, and also get a few certifications such as the CPR and pediatric first aid certifications. I have an interview for that. Also, I'm getting a head start in my ultimate goal in working with displaced children in our justice system, with a wonderful group that advocates for children that are in the court system. I'll be going to an interview for that. I've already completed the application, and though I don't have any experience as of yet with children, I believe that I could be of great service. Just anyway, I've thought about the Big Brothers Big Sisters volunteer program. These volunteer hours will also count towards my early childhood development degree. I can get an associate degree, but not to psych myself out or anything like that. I'm just going one semester at a time. My first semester will be getting a CDA certification, Child Development Associates. That will give me a license that would be able to work in the child care centers or like after school learning groups. There's several places that are like little academies for kids to go to. Anything that can give kids the building blocks that they need in order to enjoy school and get their secondary education after high school. And also, because I have an open mind, I'm an LGBT ally, I understand trans difficulties, non-gender conformity. Also, I don't have any religious affiliations. My philosophy is very rooted in humanism. I do see myself as a humanitarian, and if I do end up having a successful career in anything, I'm going to really push for charity being my primary I guess costs. I do not want to keep more than 20% of anything I make. I don't believe that I'm going to butcher this word, but philanthropy, and just donating anything you earn to people less fortunate. Also, racial issues. I've never really understood racism. I'm not saying that as a underinformed white privilege perspective. I'm saying that as a social construct, racism has no place in modern society. Children, for example, do not have these innate hatred. If anything, it's innocent curiosity until adults intervene and create a prejudice and a bias against people that are different than them. So just to sum up, what I have to do at the beginning of this month. I have a court-appointed advocate's interview, which will begin classes on January 10th. It will be 3 weeks of courses for psychological, legal, safety instruction on how to volunteer for this group. I begin babysitting. I will need to bring proof of learning disabilities to my college, which will include my prescription for Adderall, my antidepressants / anti-anxiety, and my hypothyroidism medications, proof from my doctor that I am diagnosed and medicated. I will begin CPR training. I will have a meeting with HRC. I will begin my courses to get certified for a CDA. And really, I guess I'm just ready for everything to start, because I think now that I understand what's happening with me mentally and emotionally, I have new goals that I'd like to accomplish. I don't feel inadequate in this field, and my personal life, I am taking more control of the social aspects. So all in all, I'm ready to have a full month of everything going on at the same time, and really just proving to myself that I can deal with any changes that come up or anything like that. Oh, something I'd forgotten, my apartment lease will be up in February. I am looking for a place to live that is significantly cheaper than my 1-bedroom now, and I need to sell the majority of my furniture that has filled up this 1-bedroom so I can move into a 2-bedroom and share rent responsibilities. And my cat has to have a place with me when I move, which a lot of people do not like cats. Eventually I will do my creative projects, my web design and things like that, and my art projects and sewing projects and things like that. But this is just the first day, and tomorrow will be the beginning of a whole host of different challenges.